Okay, guys, as you can see, I fully treated this blue Acara. It's been 3 treatments and 8 days. So, um, actually, 10 days. Yeah, because you treat, wait 2 days, treat, wait 2 days, treat, wait 2 days, and then water change, which I'm doing right now. Um, Obviously, whenever you do something like this, you also want to. I'm going to go in there and change the media or take the media out, rinse it out. Any type of medication that's in there, you want to try to get out, especially when you use sponge filters. As you can see, I got two of them in here. I got one old one, one new one. I got ceramic media in there for a reason. That's because I could change the or clean out the um, mechanical filtration, which would be the sponge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out right now. Um, I'll unhook the airline. I'll take those out, and then what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to slowly clean them out and then put them back in. Like I said, the ceramic media is in there for a reason. That's for biological filtration. I always like putting the heaters in the water so they're not, as you can see, I've turned the camera a little bit, but I put the waters all the way down in the water just so they don't short out or burn out. Um, I push them all the way down to the bottom until I get more water in there, and then I'll I'll put the I'll bring it back up once I put the water in. So, real quick, I'll show you real quick what I'm going to do. Let me just put the phone down and show you what I do. Okay, real quick. See, these are the old-fashioned, if you guys remember, sponge filters. On the inside, there's your mechanical media. There's two different sponges, one here and one sponge there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out. If you can see, um, these filters come out. I'll rinse them out and I'll put them back in the tank. This cover comes off. The airline goes right in here. So I'm just going to rinse them off. You got the biological filtration and the ceramic media, so I don't have to change that. I can rinse these out and still not lose any of your beneficial bacteria. There's another sponge filter in there too I'm going to take out, which is just an old-fashioned, sponge, just sponge filter. I'm just going to rinse that out, put it back in the water, fill the tank back up, and then I got some Epsom salt in the water going in. So we're going to treat them with Epsom salt for about 10 days. And, obviously not every day, but you're going to, put some Epsom salt in there, wait 2 days, change water, and then do it again. Do the process for every 10 days or, every 2 days, 5 times. So that would be equal 10 days. Like I said, I did the Canaplex for every other day, 3 times. Like I said, this is day 9, 3, 6, 9. Yeah, so actually every 2 days. So that would be 6. But actually, this was day 8 anyway because I waited 2 days to treat it. So that's where you do it. I got my numbers messed up. Every 3 days would be 9. So every 2 days would be 6. But I actually did 8. So I always like to wait in between. You can wait a little longer than 2 days. 2 days. Like wait a little bit more longer than 24 hours, maybe 30 hours, and then treat again. And then I started early because I did a water change, and then I let them in the water, get them used to get them acclimated, and then I put the medication in. So that's the way I do it. So let me clean these out, guys. I'm gonna wash them out, put it back in the tank. I'll show you what the tank looks like when I'm done, and I want to show you an update on the platies I got downstairs. So hold tight. Let's get this guy fixed up. And like I said, I didn't notice that much of a difference in him. I did know his scales look better. He looks like he's breathing a little bit better, so that's a good sign. I don't know if the buoyancy is going to get improved. It may not. If it doesn't, we're going to have to just deal with it and move on and see what happens. So that's the update for now, guys. Just stay tuned. I'll show you what the tank looks like when I'm done. Okay, guys, I have a change of plans. When I went to rinse these sponges out, there's a pre sponge, and this is the regular sponge that comes on. these old filters. That one's fine. I was able to wash that out. It looks like a fairly new one. This one, these ones here, these are like pre-sponges they give you. Um, I rinsed and 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 rinsed, and they're still dirty. So what I'm going to do is throw them in the garbage. Polyfill. So you use polyfill as your pre-filter or pre-sponge. Now, don't forget, this is an old-fashioned sponge filter. You probably can't even get these anymore. I got these at a the guy was selling a bunch of old aquarium equipment. I went down there to his house and I just bought a whole crap load of stuff. These old-fashioned sponge filters work great. I mean, I have no problem with them. I don't know if you see them anymore, but anyway, my good old polyfill that I still have 2 bags of that I haven't gone through yet. So put a little bit in there, and then that'd be my pre-filter, and then we'll just put the cover on it like that. And obviously, you know, you're gonna have a little bit up, but once you close it down, it should be okay. So that's pretty much. You want to leave the water in there. As you can see, I did that. Leave the water inside, and your beneficial bacteria is still on the bottom in your ceramic media, in your biological media. So we're gonna toss these in the garbage, and you know, there might be medication in there too, so it's all good. Now we're gonna put these back in, and we're going to obviously treat him with Epsom salt. So that's the next stage. I wasn't too happy with the way the Canaplex works, so we're gonna try the Epsom salt. Okay, hang tight. And while I'm in here, I might as well show you. This is the sponge filter I was talking about. You can get these at Aquarium Co-op or whatever ones you prefer. I don't really prefer it. They work for me, no matter what. I just take them and I rinse them in the sink. You can rinse them and squeeze them. Rinse, squeeze until there's no brown poo coming out of the sponge filter. Some guys, depending on what you're doing, some guys like to take them, leave them in the tank and use tank water. To me, I have enough beneficial bacteria or enough biological filtration. I don't feel a need to do that. I've been doing it for a long time. I just rinse them out. Depending on how many my other tanks have hang-on back filters, so I don't really worry too much about losing beneficial bacteria. So I do rinse them out. Plus, you get them rinsed better. Now, if you have one sponge filter in the tank, like I have with the goldfish downstairs, I'll go down there and I'll make sure that I rinse it. Rinse them in tank water. So you just squeeze them out. Dunk them, squeeze them, dunk until there's no more brown water. And I don't really particularly like doing it that way, just because I don't think it gets them that clean. But anyway, if you have enough beneficial bacteria and you're confident in yourself, then you just rinse them out in the sink. I already rinsed this one out, and we're gonna put these back in the tank and get this guy treated with the Epsom salt. Okay, this tank is treated with Epsom salt, guys. As you can see, still not doing as good as I want him to do. I don't know. I'm very frustrated. I tried everything with this fish, and he's still not looking okay. So I'm hoping the Epsom salt helps him. If not, we may lose this fish. Dropsy is pretty much a disease where, if the fish ain't getting any better, I just don't see how he's going to make it. So it's unfortunate, but we're trying our best to keep him alive. Like I said, he came from this tank here. As you can see, the tank is crystal clear. No other issues in that tank. I haven't had really any death at all in that tank. So, and the other one looks perfectly fine. So, don't really know. Like I said, his scales look a little better. So that's a good sign. So we'll see. Epsom salt might help. We're gonna do it. Like I said, we're gonna do a 10-day treatment, and see how he does. Anyway, what I was saying with the heater is when I put a heater in the tank, and obviously that's a bigger heater than the tank needs, but I just need to be at 80 degrees. It's actually a little bit low because I put fresh water in there, but it just goes about 80, 70, 80. That's what you want in the hospital tank. And as long as you can set your temperature on the heater to what it needs to be. As you can see, it's working because I have it set to 80. So, and I don't like taking any heaters out of the tanks when I'm doing water changes. I never do a 25% water change. The most I'll do is 50%, and just put the heater down. So it still works and it doesn't. One thing you don't want to do with heaters is you turn them off, on, off, on, off, on. I like to leave them on, unless I'm doing like a full 25% water change, and I'll take the heater out. That's the way I do it, guys. So this guy is going to be set up. We're doing the next treatment. We change the water, change the we change the mechanical filtration, and rinsed out the sponge filter. So this tank is treated with Epsom salt. I did a little bit higher dose. Usually they say 1/8 of a teaspoon per 5 gallons. I actually did a full teaspoon for 15 gallons. So that's actually a little bit more than it calls for. I might even put a little bit more in here too. So to see if it can get him helping with the buoyancy. So in saying that, let's jump downstairs and give you an update on the platies. So I really want to name this video the good and the bad of fish keeping, or the highs and lows. As you can see, these platies that I bought from Petco, I think it was, or PetSmart, one of those two, looks like they had babies last night. Now, they didn't have a lot of babies because I only see one in there. There might be another one in there floating in the Java moss. I haven't seen any more in there. But if you ever get something like this in your tank, and you notice that the female is giving birth, you do a water change. Now, I did a 50% water change in this tank today, and I'm hoping to see if these guys can get can have any more babies. So that was the intention of setting up this rack down here anyway, is getting these guys to breed, and we've been able to do that with this. And you can see there's one there. I'm assuming that they'll have more. A lot of times the females will only have one baby in their first try, but we're pretty excited that we we have babies. And the good part about having live bears is that they will have babies, and you'll never run out of fish. Now, unfortunately, we did have a couple of deaths in the fish nook down here, and actually it was more upstairs than down here. I did lose an oblique cichlid. He's been around for about 5 or 6 years. He didn't make it. I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with him. He kept on losing weight, and I know it wasn't parasites because he's been alive for a long time. So sometimes old age kicks in, and that's what happens. I also lost a guppy this morning. I noticed a guppy that was an old one, a female that was giving a lot of birth. So we had to move on from her. And of course, the blue Acara is still having some problems, but we'll still work with him. Could lose him too, but like I said, there's the highs and lows, and everyone goes through them. Unfortunately, the lows sometimes outweigh the highs. I wish I had more babies to show you, but hey, we have babies, so we're good. We're happy. I'm doing a lot of maintenance this weekend, just because I want to do water changes. Like I said, I did water change in this tank. Hoping to see if that one down there looks like that's the one that's the female. So she might be going to be getting some more babies here soon. So we'll keep you guys updated. But like I said, this is the plan down here is to breed. Unfortunately, we bought the mollies at Rick's down in Frederick. Those were the mollies that I wanted to breed, but unfortunately the male killed the female. So those were the sailfin mollies. Fortunately, they didn't make it. So anyway, it's frustrating because I got those fish specifically to mate to get to have babies, but it didn't work out. I actually had them down there in the 10-gallon tank. The angelfish I had down there, angelfish didn't make it, and we had to move the fish around. And unfortunately, the sailfin mollies didn't make it. Or they're still 1-1. I got 1 in one tank, 1 in the other tank because they're so damn aggressive towards each other. I didn't think sailfin mollies would be aggressive, but they are. So I'm still growing out the severums down there. Um, we're gonna give these guys a break from eating. I usually feed once a day, but we're gonna skip a day. I'm doing some water changes, and we're gonna just skip a day and see how they do. Um, so we're very excited to have babies. We're gonna breed these guys continually. Obviously, we want if they're gonna keep breeding, we'll have to get them into a bigger tank. But yeah, the bigger tank thing has been a mess for us. We're trying to get a bigger tank, and it just hasn't been working out for us. So we're gonna keep trying. But that's the update, guys. I told you I wanted you guys to see the platies, and they had some babies. Like I said, the highs and lows, and you get, sometimes you'll get some babies, sometimes you'll lose some fish. It's always good to have the circle of life, though, and that's one of the things I like about this hobby, is that the circle of life is that if you lose one, um, another one lives. So I didn't want to make a video today, but I figured while I was doing some maintenance, I would get in here and jump in and show you guys what the updates were. Like I said, we did lose um, 3 fish. Like I said, sometimes it happens, old age or whatever. Nothing with the water. We do water changes once a month, and we change the filtration or the media, especially the mechanical media. We change out and we keep an eye on it. So um, we all know that is perfectly fine, but sometimes fish just die. It happens. All right, guys. Till next time, we'll see you. Remember, if you can't own them, rehome them. And another thing is, life goes on. So share the video, like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. See you next time.